All right, so I am going to show you how to apply Jamberry nails. You start with fresh, clean nails like I have here, and then what you're going to do is take an alcohol wipe or a little bit of rubbing alcohol and apply over the nails. What you're doing there is just drying out your nail beds just a little bit to ensure that you don't have any fingernail oils that could interfere with the adhesion of the wraps. So then I have my sheet of wraps, and this sheet will actually do 2 pedicures and 2 manicures for me. And what I will do is I am going to size it up with my nail. And so I'm going to do that by holding this over the nail. Now if you see any overlap at all between it and your cuticles on the side, then you want to trim it down. And for my pinky nail, I definitely need to trim. So what I have done is I have taken the scissors here, and then I just trimmed it just a little bit from one side all the way down to the other. So you can see I've got just a little bit trimmed off there. And then I'm going to take my orange stick and I am going to peel up the nail just a little bit like so. See how I have that peeled up? And then I will take my scissors and I'm going to trim it. Sorry you can't see this part, but I'll make sure and show you. So I trimmed half of it off. As you can see, there is half of it trimmed off here. This half I'm going to use for my other pinky when I get to the other side. So I like to go from pinky to thumb, and I do one hand at a time. So what I'm going to do with that is you want to be really careful not to get the oils from your fingers on the back. So that's why I use this orange stick to stick that to it. And then I take that and I put it in front of my mini heater here until I see it start to curl like that. That's how you know that it's getting warm. Usually about 3 seconds. My girls and I like to count so they know when it's going to be done. And then what you do then is you're going to line that up on your nail. And you want to make sure, I'm trying to get in here so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure that it does not overlap with your pinky cuticles. So I got that on there. I made sure I did not touch the back. And then you're going to rub that as smooth as possible and stretch it to make sure you get good adhesion. And then you're going to take your cuticle pusher and you're going to rub, 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 rub. And so I got that rubbed on there. And then what I like to do at this point is I like to trim it down quite a bit. So take my scissors and I'm going to trim any excess off that's still on there. Okay, so I've got that trimmed down. And there are a couple different things here. You could do the baggy method, which I love to do, or you can also just hold your nail in front of the heater for about 3 or 4 seconds until you start to feel it get hot. And then you're going to use your cuticle pusher and you're going to do this all over again. And what I'm doing here is I'm really pushing on the cuticle area to make sure that I get a tight seal. So you can see that I've got a tight seal. I'm going to make sure and smooth it over with my finger and double check. So I've got that on there. And now you may be asking yourself, okay, well, what about the top? You're not going to leave that like that, are you? Definitely not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the next nail, and I'll come back in just a minute when my nails are cool, and I'll show you how I file that off. All right, I am back, and I have all my nail wraps applied to all of my fingers, and I am ready to show you how to file. So with Jamberry nails, it is a little bit different how you're going to file your nails. So first off, you don't want to do any kind of side-to-side motion or upward motion because that is going to cause some fraying on the end of your nail wraps, but it's still really easy. You're going to take your nail file and you're going to hold it in a vertical position, and then you're going to position it with the nail that you want to file. In this case, I am going to do my ring finger here. See how it has a little bit of excess right there on the edge. And I'm going to take the file and I'm going to hold it in a 45-degree angle around that nail, and I'm just going to file downward. And I'm going to keep filing until those little pieces start to fray off. You can see they're starting to come off. And it'll just curl off on its own. Do not pull on it when it starts to loosen. Just keep filing until it's all gone. And then what you can do is you can feel with your finger on the edge. You want to make sure it's smooth. And when it's done, it's going to look just like that. So now I'm going to get back to filing the rest of my nails, and I will talk to you soon.